I'm your host, TDN, the designated bird boy, as the Raven dreams, as the Raven dreams. Hello, and welcome to the TheDarkNest podcast. I'm your host, TDN, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host and designated bird boy as the Raven dreams.
Hello, I am designated bird boy as the Raven dreams.
As the Raven dreams. And today we are joined by our first guest on the show, and has been our first guest every time we decided to kickstart the show again. Every season, every rendition. This has been our first guest. I don't know why. I mean, I do. She's a great person, and she's awesome to talk to, especially on podcasts. It fills the entire hour and a half, 2 hours with a bunch of laughs. She is an experienced narrator, a connoisseur of all things nuggies. Please, welcome
Resident
to the
Australian.
show. Yes. Lady Spookaria.
Hello. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I cut off your intro. I'm
really
an asshole. I'm
did.
sorry.
What were you saying resident Aussie?
Yeah, resident Australian. I was.
Yes, that is me. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be back here again. I didn't even have to invade the stream. I was invited this time. It's fantastic.
Was.
Did you see the security measures I put in place? Oh, you can't see them. There's a security measure in place because of you. Well, not just because of you. I think it's what you you set into motion because Jensen started doing it, and he almost messed up our guest one time because our guest had to bounce out for an internet thing. And he came in, and we only had 3 slots, and then Horror by Numbers was trying to come back, but he couldn't because Jensen was in here. So I'm I'm screaming at Jensen. I'm like, dude, I love you, but you gotta fucking go. It's like we're live right now, and it happened live. So it wasn't that.
To be fair,
it's what ensued. But there's a booth for just us that's locked for just me.
It does. Is that because of me?
It's not really you, but people followed in your wondrous footsteps. So
Yes, it happens.
yes, everywhere I walk, there's just people.
Bananas.
And
God
nuggies.
damn.
Bananas and nuggies.
Look, and blueberries. Oh,
And
so
blubberies.
hungry. I said blueberry.
Blubbery muffins.
And cockatiels. Galahs specifically, cockatiels.
So, how you
I'm waiting
been?
for her to send me. No, hang on. I'm wanting her. I'm saying it live now. I want her to send me a galah cockatiel, and she has yet to do it. It's
They're
probably
too-
illegal, but still.
It's definitely
They're two
illegal.
different birds.
Oh,
Anyways,
she
how
said
you
you
been?
don't know your shit.
Yeah.
You don't know jack about burbs, and you are one.
Shame, bro. No, I just said a galah and a cockatiel are two different birds.
Galahs are a type of cockatiel. They're the same family. Galahs are.
They're just
they're the
commonly referred to as a galah. So why not just say galah? Because I'll know what you're talking about. Because a cockatiel is like its own little bird type.
Yeah, I meant cockatoo. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
So, lady,
So how you been?
Thanks for coming back.
I've been. It's been a roller coaster. Let me tell you that YouTube life. Oh no, I've been mostly good. How about the pair of you two? Also, does everyone remember how quiet Raven was during the first couple of episodes?
I don't
And now
know.
he's asleep.
Why?
He's just.
I'm still quiet. What are you talking about?
Oh, I
No.
thought you were referring to when there was those string of episodes where I couldn't get Raven above a certain decibel, and I had to put him ear raping into my ears in order for the stream to hear him. Those were fun.
Yeah. That was
No,
something wrong with your side, buddy.
I'm talking about.
literally fix it at all. There is nothing I could do.
I'm talking about in general. Raven was sort of a bit more quiet, and now he's just like.
Well, yeah, I said that. I don't know if I said it before the episode started last time or on it, but yeah, he's definitely broken out of his shell a lot more. His eggshell.
Definitely.
Can I just say that I hate when
The
people say it about me because they always say it as a bird pun. that I've broken out of my shell. It's just I don't know. Okay, shutting up.
Well, you're a
Back
raven.
to my shell I go.
No, you have to stay out. If I can't go and hide, neither can you.
Okay. That's a valid point.
So, what kind of stuff you got going on? Any projects? Any things you're working on? Because I know you. Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you right now. It's both of you.
You have not been following my stuff.
I have not been following your stuff. I haven't even researched your stuff, and I'm not really like connected to the community like that anymore. So I guess this is like something I can ask you, and you can just give me information about. Because I know you were doing the Harper Codex for a long time. I don't know if it's still going on, but is there anything like that you're doing?
So, okay, so it's been a while since. So basically, I now do Harper Codex ASMR on the side as well. I'm hoping to get into the Harper Codex lore series as well, but I haven't done that. The next episode of the Harper Codex, it's like, so I have a video called My Vampire Lord, which had a lot of amazing narrators. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. TDN, check it out. Yeah, sure. He's like, watch my damn videos.
I'm sorry.
But it's like that. So I've had videos I've been trying to put out, and I swear everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So I've listened to the audio, like managed, to get all the and stuff out, and then like I'll listen to a certain part of it, and then like in the part where you speak, so it's harder to edit out. Like I can hear like one of the cats like meowing or something. And it's just like, I didn't pick this up.
That happens to me all the time with the cats and their freaking bells in their collar. Like I'll be narrating and I'll be recording and then I just hear ding ding ding. I'm like, are you joking me?
Anytime I'm recording for an audiobook or anything in general, that's when my cat decides to, like, I guess the button on the back of his head gets pushed or something and he activates. Because as soon as I start recording, I always close my door, I turn my fan off, I close my windows, make sure there's no sound. But he just scratches at the fucking door anyway. I have the door open all day, and he does not bother to come in here. The second I close that fucking door, he's at it. Like, he's trying to break it down. And I open the door, and I'm like, what? And he's like, nothing, I guess. Jeez. He just walks away. I'm like,
he's like,
fucking kidding me?
Hi.
He likes
Tyler
the option to come in. That's it. He doesn't care to actually come in. He just wants to see that it's open.
Yeah, I would say Tyler doesn't like close doors. He freaks out.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if you
hates
go into the
doors.
bathroom and close the door, he sits there and scratches at the door and meows loudly nonstop until you open it.
He's like, let me in.
My cat is
Literally
black, so when it's dark, when it's like completely pitch black in the house, he'll fucking sit in front of the bathroom door. But he won't be like in front of it. I would see him when I turn the lights off. He'll sit on the side of it, like in my path to go back to my fucking room at night. So when I open the door and I turn the lights off, I turn and I trip over a cat. And he's not like standing there looking at me like it would be like a normal cat would. He's sprawled out waiting for a belly rub in the dark. I can't see him. He's just a void.
Well, just learn to see better.
Fuck you.
Come on, TDN.
You sound exactly like my girlfriend. Everything I fucking say about this fucking cat, it's like, well, as he should, obviously. It's like, no, he's a little fucking dickhead sometimes. All cats are dickheads. They're also awesome, but they're also assholes.
See,
Don't
that's
be
why
mean to-
anime and I get along.
Don't be mean to your fluffy boy.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love
be
him to
nice
death. He's
to
my
him.
best friend.
He is perfection.
But just like every best friend I've had and every other best friend anybody's had, there's that asshole tendency that pisses you off. And he has a lot of those. He has a lot of great qualities. Like exactly when I need him. Like, cats, they fuck off for most of the day. And then they come by exactly when you need them to. It's a weird thing they have in their head where they just know to come by. Or they don't. They'll be an asshole at that moment and just fucking... But when you actually really need them, like, you'll look over, like, you'll be in your bed, like, just all depressed and shit watching TV. And you'll get the sudden inkling to look to your left and you just see a pair of eyes staring at you and you're like, oh!
was so adorably high pitched. She's like, oh!
Well, because he has such a cute face, and like when he's like,
Mm.
and when he wants to be cute, he knows how to fucking do it. Like cats are smart; they know.
Mhm.
So when
Mhm.
he's sitting I'll be just literally laying on my bed, just watching something, and he likes to. My bed is pretty high off the ground, so when he wants to get my attention, he like perches on, like puts his two little paws on the edge, and he just like kind of peeks over, and he has like these. When he does that, he has like these giant black eyes, like little marbles, and it's so cute because he puts his ears behind. It just I can't even explain how fucking cute it is because anytime I try to take a picture, it does not compare to the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. I'll just look over and he's just like looking at me, and I'm like, I will protect you for the rest of my life. And I'll just pick, and he wants to get up, but he's too chunky, so he needs help getting up. He does it, but I have to pick him up. And he likes to do this thing where he kicks up his legs thinking he's helping. Like, you know, when a kid jump, like when you try to pick a kid, like you're going to pick a kid up off the ground and like they jump so that you, for extra velocity. That's what my cat does. He kicks up off the ground thinking it's helping when it's just, it's not.
Oh,
It's so
that's
adorable.
cute though.
It's so adorable. He's so chunky. I love him. He's an asshole. I'll say that. Cats are assholes, but they're also like the best pets you can have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's very
I agree
true.
with that. I agree with that.
I mean, your cats aren't assholes. Some of them, a lot of the time, they're cats, dude.
Well, they're my bubbies. They're my little babies.
That's how I feel,
One of my
though, 'cause
cats
as soon
is
as
actually sick at the moment.
when they do things that piss me off, and I do get mad at them, I feel instantly terrible. It sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
See, okay. I get that way with Tyler because he has this really bad habit of scratching at the front door whenever he wants to go outside, but we're trying to break him of going outside so he stays inside.
yeah.
Because I've said it a million times, like he's not originally our cat. He was the neighbor's cat. Neighbor went to federal prison, so there's that. So he's our cat now, basically. But they just kind of like threw him outside and didn't really do anything with him. So he's really hard to break of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Once they start going outdoor, it's hard to like teach them to stay in because they just want to be outside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never had an.
Yeah.
I've had an outside cat, but anytime I get an outside cat, like both of my cats are outside cats, but they were taken very young, so they don't really care about the outside. Little Bear, we found him, which is the one I was talking about. He's the little black one. We found him after a hurricane. My neighbor had heard him meowing, like at the top of his little lungs, during the hurricane, but they couldn't go outside because it was dangerous. So they went to check on him the next morning, and there was apparently a litter plus a mom, but they were all gone. It was just him. So we took him in, and he was the tiniest. Like he was so small that he wouldn't even walk, or run. He would just hop. He would gallop. It was the most adorable little thing I've ever seen in my life. I love him.
Oh, so cute.
I love him. He's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck all you cat haters.
Yeah, federal prison's no place for a cat. That's very true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I could see a dog in a federal prison, though. Like a really mean dog.
Okay.
I love dogs, but I love cats more.
There was a prison in the US where they had cats.
Yeah, those are like one of those like nice prisons where they're trying to reform the prisoners instead of beating them into a fucking wall.
Which is such a rarity.
Yeah.
Cats in prison. Just imagine all these cats in a pound or something.
No.
Oh, they do it in Australia too.
Two? You did it. You fucking did it. You literally did what I said.
What?
You put an R at the end of two.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you fucking did.
No, I didn't.
Did she not? I heard it. There was like a curve to that.
No,
She did.
didn't
And
happen.
now on to the weather.
No!
Today here in Kansas City.
Don't you fucking... Don't you pull out of me, goddammit! Anyway, so... I have a question for Lady Spookaria. This is
What did you do? You said, I have a question for
Lady Spookaria. This is something I've wanted to know for a while. You've said that we probably talked about it on the last time you were here. I think we only talked about it in general. I don't think we talked about what's the best. In your opinion, in your humble lady opinion, in all the knowledge you have of all the nuggies, what place you can go to has the best nuggies, in your opinion?
Ooh, that's a good one. So you have to keep in mind that Australia doesn't have like Chick-fil-A and some of those other places. So
Right, and
this
you
is
also
just
probably
from,
have
like,
higher quality. Like,
yeah. So
if you were to go to McDonald's, we already checked out. Like, we know that McDonald's has way better looking
Bro.
nuggets.
Bro, you
Yeah.
go to the Australian Macca site and it's all like, here's
We
chicken nuggets
drooled
made
over
of
that on
actual
stream.
food.
It was crazy.
We did. That's what I'm saying. Like here, the stuff here in Australia is actual food, and I'm like, why? Why do you get the good
it's
stuff?
used from like with like the beef and everything and the chicken. It's 100% like Australian produce, I think.
Dude, I can't even tell you. Like, I can tell you that a lot of the chicken, besides the nuggets at McDonald's and maybe a McChicken, is actual chicken, because you can see like the actual chicken in there. But the beef, no fucking way. There's no way that's actual beef. Maybe the thicker ones, maybe like the quarter pounder stuff, but the shit you find on a Big Mac or like a regular cheeseburger, there's no way that's meat. There's no fucking way. It's no flavor. Doesn't even taste like beef. Like, it's nothing.
So
I'm
gonna
just
have
add cardboard to it. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, TDN, and say that you're wrong.
About what?
Oh,
The beef does taste like beef.
I don't think it tastes like beef.
If you go to McDonald's and you just get a plain hamburger, it tastes like beef.
No, have you tried the hamburger on its own? It tastes like nothing.
Yeah, I have. It tastes like ground beef.
It does not
And
taste
salt
like
and
ground beef. Maybe that's that way in Kansas, but not up here. Maybe it's different. Because I will
maybe
say,
you live-
McDonald's in different places, like even in the U.S., are different. My ex-girlfriend and I went to one by her house, like 4 hours away, and you can order like fry baskets. It's like worth of like four large fries in one basket. I've never seen that before. And you can order like a chicken tender basket and stuff. I'm like, that's fucking different. Okay. It was good. It's good stuff. Maybe
So before we get on to the Nuggets question, I'm sorry, Patience brought up a good point. I've been meaning to tell you this, Spookaria. The trainer, because she got a new position at her job, the trainer for the position is Australian. He's from Australia, but he lives here in the States. And it's hilarious whenever I'm sitting there listening to him talk, like on their little training thing, because the dude has the thickest accent. And he talks about Marcus a lot too.
Did you just?
It's like Australians.
Just call it
like
Marcus.
No,
Marcus,
you went Marcus.
Marcus. Banana.
Marcus.
See, I'm becoming Australian now too.
No, it's just don't say Marcus.
Even I was like, wait, what?
I'm becoming fancy Australian, okay?
That was
I'm
like
becoming
Queen
British.
of England saying it.
Yes, we're going to go to the colony
Oh,
and have
the
some Marcus.
Marcus.
How do the locals say it? Marcus, yes.
You done?
Sorry,
You done? Or am I gonna have to bring up? Do I got to bring up the sponge?
Bring out the sponge.
I'm so
Anyways.
lost.
You should be.
Okay.
Who has the best? Who has the best nuggies?
Who has the best nuggies?
So
No,
in
no.
my opinion, okay, so it has to be, it's circumstantial, all right? So only when they're fresh. They have to be fresh out and like boiling hot. And it's Macca's.
I feel like
So-
that's anything for McDonald's, honestly. You let it sit for like a minute and it starts getting ugh.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
Yeah.
Like the fries especially, like the fries turn into not even like they taste great
Yes.
coming out. Like even a couple minutes after it's so good. But sit it out for like take it home with you and you're on like a 10-minute drive, don't eat those fucking fries. Like don't do it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. They're best on the drive home,
And like
then
it's
afterwards
only
they're like,
McDonald's fries. Like I mean, there is fast food places that have like shitty fries going cold, but like McDonald's probably has like the most. Like you have to eat the fries quick. I've never like even Wendy's or Five Guys or any of these places. I've never been to another place where I was eating a cold fry from there and gotten a more worse taste from a French fry when it's cold.
Oh no! Don't. Raven's big toe mentioned the tiny. I can't look at the chat anymore. Save me, please.
So you don't have Chick-fil-A, so you've never tried it.
No, I've never tried it. We don't have what is it? Five Guys.
that's sad.
That is sad.
It's
I mean,
White
it's
Castle?
very expensive. I will say that, but
Yes.
it is still very good.
If I go to the US, I'm just gonna like put on a million sizes.
Personally, for me, I
eating all the
think
food.
Chick-fil-A has the best nugs and fries, but that's me. I'll shut up now. No, I've eaten McNuggets my entire life, but Chick-fil-A just has this freshness to everything, quality to everything, so I have to go there.
See, I have a local chicken place that exists only in my town, and then
Yeah.
one town over because he opened a second one that I'd have to say is the best. So
I can't get waffle fries at any other fast food place,
that's a thing.
and they are very
I've
good.
never had waffle fries.
What? They are
What?
so good. It's not even just the fact that they're cut. Every time you have a waffle fry, it always has this specific taste to it for some reason too. I don't know.
It does.
I don't know why, but it always it has a waffle fry taste. I don't know why. It's not just the shape, but it's like you get this like in the middle you have like a very nice like potatoey, like very thick potato, but on the outside every little like crevice has like a crispy bit to it. It's awesome. I've never had to explain to someone what a waffle fry tastes like. This is fucking absurd.
I didn't expect to have this, okay? Like, I didn't expect this, okay?
Oh my god. Why is it always when you're on, I ask you about nuggets and it goes into every other type of food?
Every
We talked
time.
about donuts for an hour.
Every damn time.
It's what must happen.
It is what's.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a foodie.
I mean,
so I don't really care.
at least we didn't look at the website and be like, and have YouTube be like, oh my god,
Yeah, for
it looks
like
like
20
real
minutes,
food.
it was just
It
fucking.
looks so good. It looks so good. I'm like, the US doesn't sound like a great place right now.
No,
Really doesn't.
that's a
Yeah.
good segue. Actually, I want to know.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's one of the topics.
Mhm.
I would love to know from your perspective. You don't have to be
Mhm.
really specific about like anything because I know a lot of it's pretty sensitive. But I'd love to know when you started noticing all this shit happening in the U.S. What the fuck was going through your head?
It's one of those.
What if, from an Australian's
You know-
perspective, what do you think? Like,
Oh, so I'm trying to not. It's like,
That was
how can
the
I
most
say this without?
exasperated sound I have ever heard you make. Ugh.
like it's
No,
gotta be
it's 'cause
what
I'm
the
tr-
fuck is going on in America?
Yeah, like I'm trying to like. So basically, how do I? It's just a very like, what the fuck? Just why? It's like, so imagine watching a lot of apocalyptic movies and being like, wow, no one would act that dumb.
It's starting
And
to
then
feel
like
like that.
seeing how the US
It's starting to feel
is
like
like
that.
doing it, it's like, huh, they really are that dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, it's kind of like what I imagine watching the fall of Rome would have been like for like the other kingdoms and stuff around. So like, no, they shouldn't fall. They're not going to make that. Oh, you did that.
More or less, it is the
Ooh.
fall of Rome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's it gets worse every day you wake up. There's a new article or a new Twitter headline of like something crazy happening, and you think it's never gonna get worse. It can't get worse than this, and then it always fucking does. The government pulls some bullshit and does something even crazier, like that you never thought they would, and then people with actual brains are sitting back like, we've been telling you the government's been pretty fucked up for a while, but nobody wanted to listen.
It's I just yeah.
That's
I just I just like you. What I like because look, I used to love like those prepping shows and stuff, and it's like, yeah, we will survive anything. It's like haircut. It's like, okay, you will survive anything. Okay, well,
we shouldn't
good luck with
have
that.
to survive. It's not the fucking Stone Age. We're supposed to be a growing economy with like a society. We shouldn't have to fucking survive against what? We're not running around in the jungles anymore. Like, what the fuck?
No, but it's just little things. It's like there are people who are losing their homes. It's like, okay, well, it's like people can't afford basic medical care. It's like, well, why not have it like Medicare or something where it's easily available? Because like having no, like having it there, like, and being able to get these treatments end up saving the economy money in the long run because people can still work. They can still like raise their families, they're still being able to pay their damn bills rather than having these insane medical bill costs. But it's just like, nah, we won't do that. Why? Reasons. Freedom.
All right, why are you guys roasting me in the fucking chat right now? I don't understand what's going on here.
Who's roasting you in the chat? What are you talking about?
Just picking shit that I'm saying and quoting it.
No, the no one would act that dumb was a good quote because, like I said, but alas, they did act that dumb.
That wasn't my quote.
Yeah, that was mine.
That was a good quote.
It was a good quote.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I just wanted to know because I see shit on Twitter all the time, of just like people in like the UK and Ireland and stuff like that, and like Australia, and people. I want to know, like, I want to talk to one of the people who's just looking in on the outside, and just like what, like, because for you guys, it must look like everything was fine one day and then the next nothing was fine. And the funny part is like there was no gradual either for us. We woke up one day and it was just bad.
Well, I mean, America's has done some questionable decisions for a while now.
Oh yeah, we fucking suck.
But like it's been brewing for a long time, and I think a lot of it was people didn't think it would get as bad as what it did, so they just like let a lot of things slide. And then it just, once it slid that little bit too far, it just went, ha ha.
It's like the same thing. It's the same thing if like you're sitting at home and you have a mound of dishes, or like you have one plate in the sink, and instead of washing that plate and just making sure that there's no other stuff in the sink when you put more dishes in there and just do it over time so that you don't have a pile of dishes, you're just like, it's one plate, it's whatever. And then 2 plates, and then 3 plates, and then 4 plates, and then a bunch of cups and some silverware. And then it finally piles up, and you're like, fuck, I didn't think it would get this bad, but I gotta catch up on The Walking Dead.
And before you know, like, it's like porterhouse, and there's a zombie outside.
There's fucking old linguine in a pot just sitting in the fucking sink, and it's molding, and you're like, you can't handle the smell.
Okay, you know what? That actually really makes me angry. So no, we have to like stop the stream. No, I'm kidding. No. But like food scraps in the sink, and also what?
Dude, I want to kill my uncle. He's the only person I know that'll leave shit in a pan.
Oh no! Like it's gross. It's fucking disgusting. Also, I've never actually used the garbage disposal unit thing, so I see them in movies, and I just imagine, people going, "Let's stick my hand down there and get it like eaten up by the thing," because that's all I've ever seen references to.
Yes,
like in horror things.
Yeah, I have one of those, and we rarely use it, and I could never imagine ever putting my hand in it like an idiot.
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
It's like, we're both there thinking, are you sure? Are you sure you're not going?
Are you sure about that?
Don't you start off saying yes. That's my thing.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
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 But But no,
amazing
seriously, like,
content here, guys.
people
Yes.
leaving
Best.
shit in the sink. My uncle is like the king of this. He'll
Ugh.
like, you know, when you like forget a leftover in the fridge or something, like you
Mhm.
say you're gonna eat it and it's in there for a week, and like you open it and you're like, whoa,
Oh
the
no,
fuck is that?
no,
Was a
no.
steak apparently, but now it's a caterpillar. and
Oh no,
then you scoop. And
no.
I would normally, like, if it gets bad, like it's moldy, I would just throw the whole fucking Tupperware out sometimes because of how, like, some of that shit just doesn't come off.
In there.
But if I can, I'll scrub the shit out of it. But he'll like get most of it out, and then if there's like corn or something, or just like something like left on the sides that obviously will become like a mass if it left in the sink for a day, he'll just throw it in the fucking sink. And cat food tins, he doesn't throw them out when he's on. He just throws them in the sink. I don't fucking get it. I don't know what this
Why would-
fuck's wrong. I'm like, what are you doing? He's
Why
like,
would
I'm
you do
washing them
that?
before I throw them out. I'm like, you don't wash your fucking food containers before you throw them out. That makes no sense.
Okay, no, I can see why he would do that, so like it
But he
doesn't
do it
stink
for
and
other
attract
things.
like it was. I don't know, maybe there's like possums or something, but like why not take those like little cans and like wash them outside?
Or wash them and then throw them out. Why throw them in the sink like it's a dish?
Yeah, like this is making me really no, like I'm actually angry. This is the first time I've been angry on this damn podcast, this damn show. I'm heated, damn it.
We'll do it to you. Apparently, we'll get you angry somehow. We do it to some people. So, anybody who comes on this podcast or is watching this podcast, eventually will say something they don't like. It happens very often.
Pretty frequently, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, fuck you, Leslie. I want you to hear this from me and the rest of the community. Go fuck yourself.
Oh yes, Leslie. She's been doing the
is-
rounds.
Yeah, she's been doing the rounds. I don't know if anybody besides Twitter has been vocally spoken about this. Go fuck yourself, Leslie.
She left a comment on our show last week saying that we were children.
She doesn't want to hear children laughing.
Wait, really?
Yeah. The same woman that keeps going around saying, these are old stories. I heard these last week to everybody else.
It's like, all right,
hope
Miss
I hope
Trunchbull,
she
Jesus
hears
Christ.
this. It's like, Leslie, I hope you watch nothing but the same story, and that is your apocalypse.
I hope when you die, your hell is just you sitting in front of a fucking screen listening to the same story over and over again, and then children laughing in the background.
It's like, also, Leslie, please watch my live streams. There is no giggling, there is no laughter in them at all, I swear.
I want her computer to just like get possessed by a ghost, and it just fucking forces our live stream on constantly, and it never turns off. And she'll unplug it, she'll take out the battery, it does nothing, and it's playing on every screen in her house.
No, maybe Leslie is like a time traveler. So every story she's already watched them before, and that's why she's like, I've watched this before, and that's maybe how she's been cursed.
Now. This is the worst time to come back now. Why would you do that?
Maybe it's
Right.
worse in the future.
Oh God, don't say that.
I mean, it's probably worse in the future.
I mean, it's definitely going to be worse. Yeah, but don't like say that.
Look,
don't confirm the obvious.
Look, as a 7,002-year-old demon, I may have looked into the future, and let's just say Mad Max is coming. So it'll be fine.
You have an unfair advantage in that situation then.
Time to get my face
Yep.
paint.
Being an Australian, you like you
Doing buggies and face paint. Let's go.
That's like Thursday for
Let's
you.
roll. Yeah. Oh, some areas are really like Mad Max. Like, no, not going there.
What? I mean, isn't
What?
Australia just Mad Max? Is it not?
No. Oh, it depends. Some areas are Mad Max.
That's what I imagine
Others-
Australia to be. It's just a desert with a couple kangaroos in the middle, a koala on the tree, and there's just a bunch of people going around in dune buggies shooting at each other with big knives in their hands.
Well, we can't use guns because there's the gun laws.
It's Mad
now.
Max.
So
You don't care
no, look.
about laws.
Well, I mean, a lot of the guns were destroyed.
Shut
Fair.
up.
I'm just like shooting holes in your imaginary. It's like, this is my
Yeah,
Australia
you sound
lady.
like my
don't
fucking father,
test."
just shooting holes in all my dreams.
Yep. That's my role in life, to destroy dreams.
To be a surrogate father for everybody and destroy their dreams.
Does this mean you're gonna call me daddy now?
Oh, fucking Christ.
This sounds like a complex.
Not without the most
Hmm?
cringe expression on my fucking face and not even finishing the word.
So that means you are gonna stop calling me daddy?
No. I would have to kill myself. I would have to shoot myself in the face. Why the fuck would I do that? I just start doing it all over Twitter like it's not a fucking problem.
I'm sorry.
People start pointing it out. I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Daddy. I just start calling everybody daddy, just like, God, that sounds so. I hate that fucking word. I hate that it's so gross. It's for children or chicks who like it. I can't handle it. No. Can't do that. No.
Are you sure?
I'm fine. Okay? I'm good.
Okay.
Anyway,
Bit of the hard work.
let's move on from whatever the fuck that was. So
Ian's like, fuck. How did I forget what she's like? God damn.
Why do we bring her back? That's a joke. We know why you bring. We know why we bring. We know why we bring you back.
We bring them back. We know.
Why are you doing the ooh voice?
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo. Okay, so
Leslie's gonna be gonna
fuck
be
you,
comment,
Leslie.
be like, I don't like the ooh woos.
I don't like the ooh woos. It's not my thing, so I'm gonna tell everybody why I don't like it, and that means it's bad. Leslie's such a Karen name. If it's not Karen, it's Leslie. It makes so much sense. Anyway, so I'd like to bring this up because I know there's a lot of people, a lot of narrators who might listen or who know me because I do my thumbnails and basically nothing else.
Yeah.
But
literally nothing else.
I would like to put this out there. How much time and effort should you put into making thumbnails and or improving on your current ones? This is very important, actually.
Ooh. So you actually told me something that I've taken to heart, because back when I first started doing YouTube, what I used to do was I didn't used to really make a thumbnail. I used to like pause the video like at a certain point and be like, yeah, that's the thumbnail.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure I told you and Jensen to the end, and like you both yelled at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
Oh.
Raven's so disgusting.
My friend
He's
used to
like,
do them in Paint.
"Ugh."
Yeah.
So basically,
The only person
oh.
that should no, I'm gonna say this. The only person that should do them in Paint and has the right to do so is King of the Canadian Hill. Just saying.
So TDN told me basically for any new viewer, that is their first impression of you.
Yep.
So like it has to be good. It has to be eye catching.
Yeah.
So like now I try to I actually make thumbnails.
You sit there and you make one for that specific.
Yeah, like I've done that for a while. Like I paid more attention to like my font as well to try to shake it up into for it to be really eye catching.
People like blocky, from what I've noticed. They really like blocky stuff, like Cheddar and
easy to read. Yeah,
Living Hell and Abandon and stuff like that. Those fonts work very well.
I've noticed that. Like I still use the same font that I've always sort of used.
Well, here's the thing I will tell you about it's not just about fonts and like how good you make your thumbnail. It's also about consistency. If you make a style for yourself, people will start noticing. It's how Swamp was operating. I could tell before I made Swamp's thumbnails that was his thumbnail. He made such a unique, like dark background with red and white text, but not the normal red and white text. He would make like these bumpy fonts with like and everything was like super dark, and you could tell just by scrolling by that that's a Swamp thumbnail. But that's it's important too to make it seem to make people know that that's yours. Like this is just without even having to, because off of that right off the bat, just for reoccurring viewers, people will scroll through and like be zooming through and they stop and be like, oh, Spookaria posted a new video. And they don't even have to look for your name or the title. They just know you posted a new one because they can tell it's yours.
Excellent. No, like I try to get like see that like that's something like I wanted to have like branding, but like I used to like put my avatar on it all the time, and I think that can actually throw that can like throw people off like what the story's about. Like it kind of like ruins the mood a little bit.
So I'm going to say this, in my opinion, just because I don't think I've ever said it. And it's something that TDN has said, definitely. And I'm going to echo his sentiment. And that is, don't put your characters on your thumbnails. I'm sorry. The thumbnail is supposed to give the listener a sense of what the video is going to be about. They know it's yours. They know it's your channel. They either clicked on your channel or they clicked the video and they will see it's your channel.
Yeah.
They don't need to see your character on the thumbnail. I hate that. I cannot stand that.
This is coming from someone who actually used to put their characters in their thumbnails before they became a thumbnail maker. Like, don't do it. Characters are made for your profile picture and your banners and stuff to brand you, but you can't put them on a thumbnail because it's too small. You can't see what's going on. It literally just looks like something's obscuring your thumbnail. And it also, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't fit with your thumbnail. Like, we're all horror narrators, right? But most of the time our original characters don't really reflect horror that much. Like, most of us have them done by the same person. If we don't, it's supposed to be visible, so it's going to be bright in color, but our thumbnails don't reflect that. Most of our thumbnails are darker in tone and darker in fonts and colors, and mostly red, green, blue, but always a faded version of those. Or if they are bright, they're always bright and never faded. So you can't put one thing that's going to be slapped on all of your thumbnails because it's just going to throw everything off.
Right. I completely agree. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that.
Like sometimes like I have like really simple like I just have the font and an image, but like every time I sort of added, like people would think that my, like, say if it was like a female character, they'd think it was like my avatar was the character in it sometimes too. So there was that like disconnect, so they didn't necessarily understand the story. Like, it hasn't happened for a long time because I haven't put my avatar on there, but like, yeah, listen to that.
What I will say is that the best thing you can do for a thumbnail is work very hard on it, but don't put too much in it. Make it simple, but work hard on making it simple so that it just conveys what you want it to convey, and that's it. Don't put extra stuff in a bunch of random images that don't make any sense. Don't put a shit ton of pictures in it because nobody's going to be able to see it. It's just going to take away from what you're trying to portray. And most of the time, if you don't work on your thumbnails properly, people are going to look at your channel and think, this person doesn't really have anything. Like, it's your thumbnail is your headline.
It's your book cover.
That's your book cover. Everything that the person's going to think of you is going to be about that thumbnail. They're going to, because that's the first thing they see. They don't see your channel on their like For You page or their list or whatever. They see that thumbnail. So you have to make it so the quality of your channel is portrayed in the thumbnail so that you can get people to get sucked in.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
I guess my advice personally on that, being TDN's underling at this point, his Padawan, is that the Jedi term? Anyway.
Yes.
The best thing to do is if you have a story or a topic or if it's like a fiction story and you know what it's about, try to find a thumbnail on a successful, much larger channel and see what it looks like.
Don't
and then make yours.
take
I'm
Mr.
no, I'm
Nightmares
not
into
saying
account.
no. You know what I mean. Like look at it's like swamps, like the ones you make, and But you know what I mean. Like look at a larger channel. Look at one that's successful. What do you see consistently? Use that. Don't copy it. Make it your own and create what you're. Sorry, I looked over a chat and I shouldn't have. Like create what you're creating with your style, but
I know what you're laughing at.
Don't like, I don't know.
Just give it to us, Burp.
If you look at your thumbnail from afar and it's not a good one and you think, yeah, I would totally click that, then you need new glasses or you need glasses. Because that's what I'm saying. Is like, you have to make sure your thumbnail is something you would click on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think people take that into account. Like, this is what people who don't know who you are clicking on. And if it looks like shit, well.
Also, don't look at someone else's thumbnail and be like, I'm going to try that. You don't know how. And it always ends up looking like shit. Ask for help. Ask me for help. Ask Raven for help. I want this community to have amazing thumbnails. That's not why I rant about it. It's not. I don't rant about it because I think everybody sucks except for me. That's not the case. There's a lot of good thumbnail makers in the community, but we're such a niche community. You want to stop being niche? Make it look like we're we're making actual content here. That's the best way to do it, to make people. All of you are going to start getting more subs and more money if you start banding together and making everything presentable.
Maybe that, right. And by no means am I saying like copy and try to steal the style and process of someone else. Just like see what works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with that. And also, if you get advice on your thumbnails, like, don't take it too personally. Like some people take constructive criticism.
A lot of people do.
As an attack. And the thing is, if they're bothering to give you that constructive criticism, they give a shit.
If it's constructive. If I'm telling you about a thumbnail and I'm telling you, like, listen, the colors are a little off, like, you should probably, like, match the colors a little bit better because it's going to be easier on the eyes. It's going to be easier for someone to click on that. And they're just like, well, it's not really what I was going for, but, like, okay. Like, I was really going for this. I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I understand what you're going for. I can see what you're going for. I'm just telling you, if you want it to be how I know it is in your head, just listen real quick.
No, but like it must get frustrating when someone comes to you for advice and like, oh
my god,
they're like,
I can't
and they're like, hey, what
anymore.
do you?
Like, I'm just like,
it's like, okay, what do you think? And it's like, don't reject that advice if someone takes time out of their day to actually give you that feedback. Because everyone's busy, you know.
I shit you not. Most people who
try
come to me
listen have
very bad thumbnails, and they're not happy what I have to say about what they have. I'm not shitting on them, but they have they're not. They're not up to par. They're not what I would consider a good thumbnail. That's me in my own head.
That's
so when they come to me and I'm just like, well, okay, I like the concept. I think the font is good. But I think you putting yellow text on a red background isn't working for me.
That too. That's something that I don't think a lot of people take into consideration.
Color matching.
Whenever you're doing a thumbnail, like your colors either need to match the image or be a sharp contrast. Like pink and green, those work as long as you do it right and don't make it like too weird in the mesh.
Pink
but like
and green, red and white.
Right.
And white,
blue and
pretty
orange.
Much anything.
Blue and orange.
Yeah, blue and orange for sure.
Right, so they either have to be like sharp contrasts, like exact opposites on the spectrum, or similar in shades. Because if you're doing like pink text over an orange and purple background, it's probably not going to look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, just people don't consider colors, in my opinion, whenever they make thumbnails at all. Like, and I don't understand.
There's a lot of factors that people should take in when trying to make a thumbnail that they don't, and that's why most of the time it ends up just being, bad, I guess.
Not great. You're being so diplomatic there, but
because I don't want to offend everybody. Yeah. I don't hate people's thumbnails. I just don't like when I'm trying to help that people think I'm attacking them about it, because that's what I get most of the time. Like, there's people in my in Main Raven server that will come for, like, you post that thumbnail for adversational information. Like, that's how it works. That's why it says it on the topic of the chat. It's you put the thumbnails in, and we tell you how it is, and we'll help you, because me and Raven are very prolific in making these thumbnails, so we have some insight on it. And there's some people who just fight everything we say. Everything. Work hard on your thumbnails, people. Work hard on your thumbnails. Ask for help. I will help you. Raven will help you. Just be prepared that if we have something to say, we're not going to bash you about it. We're trying to help.
Right. And try to be receptive. Like, I try to be as respectful as I can. Whenever I'm like, yeah, I don't like this about your thumbnail, or this isn't necessarily good. But like you said, some people just aren't receptive to that, and I hate it so much. But
okay, lighter topic. Aliens invade publicly all over the world right now. They pick you out of a mass population to give you a test. They tell you have to show them something that was done or made by us to save the planet. What would that thing be? Lady, you go first.
I don't like being put in this position.
That's fine. I don't care.
I don't like. No. I don't like this amount of pressure. So I'd probably yell at the aliens. So
I thought you meant I don't want to answer. That's too big of a question.
No, talk about a mad leap. We went from talking about thumbnails to alien invasion.
Well, I wanted to brighten up the.
It did brighten up, but it went from. Yeah, thumbnails. Fix your thumbnails, noobs. Get good.
Yeah, you never took my advice. You just hired me. Swamp.
So I was like, I'll just hire him. It's fine.
He literally said, he literally said, want to stop being niche, just pay TDN.
Mm-hmm.
He literally said that.
Really? I didn't see it.
So, I mean, now would be a good time to plug your thumbnails, TDN.
Do I have to?
I mean, well, you don't have to. I'm just saying you can.
All right, I do thumbnails. Contact TDN Artist on Twitter. My Twitter will be in the description. I do commissions. Commissions are open. I have 1 monthly slot open right now, fixed rate. So come check me out. I do single commissions packages, stuff like that. Turnaround's about 10 minutes to an hour, depending on how many you need.
Nice.
There you go.
Sorry, I just thought it was a good. See, I'm shameless about my promotion, so when someone else does, I'm like, opportunity.
Well, I don't. It's not that I'm like. It's not like I'm reserved about it. I just if I feel like I have to plug it, I will. But if I don't, I'm just like, okay, here you go.
Well, I'm just trying to be supportive here.
No, I appreciate it. I just I'm very bad at advertising. That's probably why I have such a shit fucking client rate. My client rate is actually I signed on another person recently for monthly stuff, which is being a huge help right now.
Yeah.
So there's Swamp, there's Mr. Revenant, and I signed on Southern Cannibal for a monthly thing we're starting next week.
He finally signed on, huh?
Yeah, well, with Canny, I understand he has a hard time. He has a lot of shit going on most of the time. So when he wants to plan, that wasn't
anything negative against him at all. That was just me. I know because you worked with him some. Well, stop it.
No,
stop being so defensive.
I'm not being defensive. Stop being so antagonistic.
No.
Fuck you.
Anyways, go on. Sorry.
He has a lot of shit going on a lot of times, so he has trouble planning farther ahead. So he usually does like videos a day before. That's usually how he plans his stuff. He doesn't really know the topic. So I was just like, listen, I need you to be on my client list. You're like one of the only people I know how to make their thumbnails, and you're not on my client list. Outside of like he does do like I do occasional stuff, but I don't really get recurring things, or I don't do monthly, so he's not technically on my client list. And like, dude, I've already made your thumbnails before plenty of times. I know what you like. I know your font. I know your colors. If we turn this into monthly, it'll be like nothing. And I told him like I can do daily. You need a daily one, I'll do it. So that's what we're on right now.
Nice.
Did Southern Cannibal use code SWAMPED? No, he didn't get a discount. He's mine now.
Dun, dun, dun.
If you use code SWAMPED, to get 2 cents off of every 30 thumbnails.
Code swamped is 2% extra.
Yeah, you have to pay me $50 for every thumbnail now. And you can't back out.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad that
I'm very
signed
excited
on,
about it because we're moving soon, which I put in the server, and it I needed that extra set of cash every month to make sure that I can actually pay this, because it's going to be a couple $100 more expensive to afford.
Oh, damn it, Derringer. Why do you like this?
I knew that was him. I knew it was him. But anyways, sorry. The 2% is the tax I take from birthing TDN. Swamp's your mother?
At this point,
That explains
everything
a lot.
I do is under Swamp at this point, so like it makes sense.
Yeah.
TDN just Swamp Junior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, that guy taught me everything I know about navigating pretty much every landscape that I'm now, benefiting from. So, yeah.
I mean, like I've told you, dude, that first time we had him on originally on the show, I took his advice to heart, and look where I am. Just saying.
I mean, because of him, people know my thumbnails. Like most people, like I tried to sell my thumbnails for way longer before Swamp actually like started commissioning me, and it never worked out. But the second I start doing stuff for him, and he literally was just like, he told Joel, let's read one day. He showed him like something that I did, and Joel immediately commissioned me that day, which was like crazy because it's fucking Let's Read. And then a week after that, Mr. Creeps, who I was a huge fan of, he commissioned me, and that was crazy. And now I just have like all these people. I have people now who are watching my live streams where I edit thumbnails and make thumbnails, trying to see what I'm doing to improve theirs. I've had Booze and Booze watched 1 hour of me, just not even teaching, just live streaming me making thumbnails, and now he is one of those people in the community I can definitely say has a knack for it.
I mean, I literally sat on a call watching you for 4 hours, and now that's what I do.
I'm not saying I know it all or I have the it factor. Like I just, if you want my help, you can just pay attention to what I do. I'm not a very good teacher. I'm not at all. Everything I do is subconscious. So it's really hard to teach when it's just all second nature. You kind of forget things. You're like, oh, I forgot to do that thing. Why am I the only one talking? Is anybody here?
No, I was just thinking,
I
like,
was
hey,
just
we should probably
listening.
segue back away from thumbnails and go back to the alien invasion question.
Yeah, because every time I talk, people get silent.
I'm listening.
Aliens,
Listening.
what would you do, lady? You just scream at them?
Why would you use that voice?
I don't know, because that's what you said. You said to just scream at them.
I mean, probably. You said like, what would I show to
Yeah,
see?
like a
demonstrate
TV
what
show or
we
like a
read.
documentary or like or just like something that happened in history or something we made, like something we created as humans. To be like, don't
This
kill
is
us. We
gonna
have
sound terrible,
pineapple
but-
on pizza. Like,
I would make them watch my videos. Look, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna get an
It's
alien
gonna
to
be the
watch my
reviews.
videos.
If humanity dies, it'll be my fault.
What about you,
I like it.
Raven?
I'd give him a Snickers or a Reese's.
I've never
Something
had a Reese's.
chocolate and candy.
What?
Oh no.
Yep, never had one.
What?
What?
Oh no.
What?
Oh.
Man, I'm gonna have to ship some Reese's to Australia. Apparently.
Are they nice?
I love that you said that. It was so curious. Are they nice?
I did say that.
That was kind of like innocent and dainty. Like, oh, are they nice? Okay, I can't do Australian. It becomes British. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of awkward silences in this one.
As always.
Yeah.
Well, it gives everyone time to breathe. You know.
We'll have to send you Reese's because it's not like real peanut butter. It's like
American peanut butter.
No,
it's peanut butter. No, American peanut butter is real peanut butter, but it's kind of dehydrated.
It's like a candified peanut butter. Like you can expect it to be in a candy. Like it's a lot more grainy.
Yeah, okay. It's powdery.
Yeah,
but it is. Dude, Reese's are the best thing ever, though. Like
they're fucking awesome.
I think that would stop the aliens from killing us.
They'd
be like, all right, we're
just showing them a 1 hour compilation of kittens would help.
Oh,
dude, we'll just give them Reese's and let them watch the kittens.
Yeah.
They'd be like, we will no longer kill your ass for another 6 months.
Show them more.
Prepare more Reese's
and more kittens. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would probably show them like something I would show them videos of soldiers coming home to their dogs.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I would do. Because then they would just like, oh, we can't do that to the dogs. And they would kill all of us and leave the dogs. And like, you can't do that. How the dogs are going to eat or anything. We can't feed them if we're gone. And they're like, oh my God, we didn't think of that. And then they keep us alive just so we can keep dogs alive. And I'm like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but why would they bother keeping us alive? Why wouldn't they just like, oh no, take the dogs?
Fuck, I don't know.
because if they take out the human race, there will no longer be the kitten compilations on YouTube.
Yeah, who are going to make the kitten compilation?
Yeah, but maybe they take over YouTube because maybe Susan has already done this.
Do you really think? Do you really think that Google would give up YouTube that easily?
Well, it will cause an intergalactic war, but like that's okay.
It's Google,
and then the aliens,
they care.
They would still win. It would be Google and Disney because we know Disney makes Google so much freaking money in ad revenue. It'd be Google and Disney versus like the intergalactic federation of human destroyers, and they'd win. That was a good name. I'm gonna write a sci-fi story now.
It was so off the top, but perfect.
It was pretty stupid.
Good improv.
Thank you.
That's something I want to do. I want to take improv classes because I think I'm good at improvising, like just off the top of my head and saying what I want to say, and just like anything that pops into my head and do it without stumbling. But I want to I just want to take one just to see what it's like and just like see what I don't know and learn something. Because I think that would be cool. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just the silence that happens after I'm done. It's like, is everybody gone?
Okay. I'm eating a Kit Kat.
You're on a show, woman.
I keep needing.
Do I give a shit?
You should.
Well,
last time I was on Spookaria's live stream, she ate a banana.
This isn't Spookaria's live stream.
Look, I needed sugar and I was getting hangry. Okay, don't give me shit.
And I have a Kit Kat.
You want like a girl when she's hangry, she can probably destroy the world.
That is true.
It's very scary, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy's hangry is like 2% of a girl's hangry. Because I get hangry, I get irritable, but like girls will kill a person. Like I think I'd kill a person over a sandwich if like I'm standing in line at Subway and like I'm so hungry, I've been waiting all fucking day to eat, and then just for some reason like a power outage happens, it's pitch black and they can't make the sandwich anymore, and I was the next one in line. I'd probably kill somebody. I'd probably kill the sandwich maker.
It's even worse now on a diet too. So like, if you get in between me and food, it's like you're gonna die. I'm sorry. Just accept death.
I've had those thoughts where like we'll be going home, and someone else is driving, and we're like they stop at someplace else they didn't say they were gonna stop at, and we have pizza, and I was just like, I'm gonna start eating this pizza, and you're not gonna have any by the time we get home, or you drive home now, and I don't kill you.
Just eat the person. It's easier.
Yeah, just eat the person than the pizza. No, let them eat the pizza and then you eat the person. You get both.
No,
There you go. That kind of works.
Eat the pizza separate. It's a side.
It's a garnish. What the fuck?
I mean, you invited me on. Like, you've seen my live streams. You've seen how they get.
It always goes back to food.
Yep. Yep.
It always goes
It's
back
the way
to
of the
food.
world.
It is the way of the world. Food is awesome.
I
I read something or heard something somewhere where someone was like, it was a weird realization to like realize that food isn't just enjoyment; it's supposed to sustain me. And like I stopped eating junk food. I'm like, who the fuck are you, the Pope? Like what the? No, food is to make me feel better. Fuck off. Not just at my energy levels, but I want my taste buds to go like, woo.
Woo!
I want when I put a salad's cool, but like it doesn't give me the same fucking euphoric reaction as a cosmic brownie. Like
That's true.
I mean, cosmic brownies as a kid were great. I eat one now, I almost want to throw up. It's so fucking rich and sweet. I can't eat them anymore. Like when you're a kid, you're like, these are the best things I've ever put in my mouth. And like, as an adult, I'm like, one bite, I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. It's so thick. It is like that. It's so overwhelmingly sweet and rich. I don't know if you have cosmic brownies in Australia.
No.
But they're like,
nope.
You know what snack cakes are? Yeah.
Nope.
No, you don't have snack cakes? Just like any type of snack cake?
Just assume if
like
it's
a store-bought
food that we
cupcake.
have here.
Oh yeah, we got cupcakes.
No. Like, it's not just a cupcake. It's like you go in the grocery aisle or like buy the bread, and there'll be like a box, but it's like a shelf-stable cupcake or a brownie or a muffin or something like that, like in a box, like Hostess. You have to have heard of Hostess. Heard of it, even if you haven't had it.
Like the Twinkies.
Yeah, that's a snack cake.
Okay. We haven't had one, but like I know what they are.
Yeah, it's just like a shelf-stable like cake. It's pretty much all. It's just like some type of snacky small cake, like chocolate covered in chocolate filled with cream, something like that.
550 calories a piece. That's a snack to us.
Oh my god!
It's not a quarter of a day's worth of calories. It's a snack.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the reason of bringing up snack cakes.
I don't know.
What was I talking about before?
You went down this long road, and now we're just like, why are we here? How did we get here?
Food isn't just enjoyment; it's supposed to be sustenance as well. That's
cosmic brownies. Yeah. They're like it is a snack cake.
Okay.
It's a brownie. It does taste like a brownie when you scrape the icing off. But it's like a very sugary brownie. It's very dense. It's super thick, and it's like when you undercook a brownie. That's what it's like. It's when you undercook a brownie, and then and you're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, but it's also super thick, super moist, super rich, and then they put icing and fucking small Hershey Kisses that are candy coated inside of them.
So unnecessary.
See, I wouldn't
so
need
unnecessary.
That much sugar.
Take off the icing. Take off the fucking chips.
See, I wouldn't need that much sugar because I'm sweet enough as it is.
Oh, that's so accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So
that wasn't sarcastic at all.
Like snack cakes in general are just so much sweeter than I remember.
TD is just like avoiding it all.
I don't know what you said.
Oh,
she said she doesn't need it because she's so sweet already.
No, you said something. I heard that part.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Oh, okay, never mind
then. Oh, okay.
All right, Lady Spookaria. No thinking about it. Best topping on pizza. No, best topping on pizza. No thinking about it. Come on, 1, 2, 3, go, go, go,
Ham
go,
and
go, go, go.
pineapple.
That is a good choice.
Pineapple's great on pizza. Fuck anybody who thinks otherwise. For real.
It is an essential. It's salty and sweet, just like
I
me.
don't like. It's not like the topping I go to every time, but I had it one time not knowing that that's what my girlfriend ordered, and we ordered from Domino's. First off, ew. Second,
Domino's is okay. You
Domino's
hush.
sucks balls. It's not pizza. It's fucking
You suck
bread and
balls.
solid garbage. I'll eat it, but it doesn't. It's not. It's to me. It's not
bread and garbage.
All right,
I'll eat it though.
It's Domino's. To me, Domino's isn't pizza. It's Domino's. That's how I feel. Because it doesn't taste anything like pizza. But we had Domino's one time. It's like McDonald's. It's not food. It's McDonald's. It's not a burger. It's a Big Mac. So she ordered a pizza one time. I let her just pick the toppings because I was feeling generous. And she put sausage and pineapple on it. I don't know if you've had sausage and pineapple because it usually is ham and pineapple, but Italian sausage and pineapple is also very good. It was the first time I ever had pineapple on pizza, and I didn't see it because when you have pineapple on pizza, sometimes it's so it's small, just small cubes, so you can't see it. So I bit into it, and at first I was like, "What the fuck's wrong with my pizza?" And then she looks over. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's so weird." Uh-oh. Raven left.
No, it did the thing again where you guys were talking and I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
That's weird.
Well, what I said is I bit into the pizza not knowing that there was pineapple on it. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with it? And she looks over. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "What's wrong with the pizza?" She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "It tastes so fucking weird." She's like, "I mean, there's sausage on it." I'm like, what's wrong with this sausage? Is it off? Is it bad? She's like, "No." I was like, "What else is on here? What did you put on here?" And she's like, "It's pineapple." I'm like, "Huh." Now that I knew there was pineapple on it, because initially I thought it was either the sausage or the pizza that tasted like that, and I got scared. But now that I know it's pineapple, it tastes pretty fucking good. And a Hawaiian pizza is awesome.
Yes.
Fucking great.
I want pizza now.
I don't think it's the best topping on pizza, but I will say it's very good. It's very
I know.
good. I have
amazing taste.
I don't understand the hatred behind it. Personally, I'm not actually like a topping on pizza person. I usually just go for cheese pizza. Or like basil
I don't know.
or something.
I can't get behind just a plain cheese pizza. I just no.
Well, to me, a plain, I call it plain, but most of the time, I'll get like a grandma slice or
a what?
You don't know what a grandma slice is?
No.
How do I explain this? Let me look it up. You guys keep talking.
Okay.
Okay, we're put on the spot, verb.
So I like pineapple on like barbecue chicken pizza. It's pretty good. That's one of the things I like.
I like barbecue.
Oh, that's why it's a Long Island thing. I didn't know that. It's square like a Sicilian, but it's not thick. It's thin. It has a lot of sauce, and they instead of putting the cheese all over, they take they rip off pieces of mozzarella and put them in certain parts, and it melts and it kind of spreads. So there's like pockets of sauce and pockets of cheese.
That makes sense.
That's usually what I consider a plain slice because it is just cheese and sauce, but it's like it tastes so much different. I'm also from New York, so pizza to me is like it's a specific thing. So when I say plain, I think of something specific.
Okay, so like I've never had like a New York style pizza, like the really skinny ones.
What do you guys have over there?
Like you know how like yeah.
I mean,
like
so
there's like it varies. So it's like thin and crispy and like pan.
Well, pan crust pizza is also very good when done properly.
Yeah. So not Pizza Hut.
No, I actually like Pizza Hut over Domino's. They have very good crust.
Oh no.
Disappointment.
The fight has
Pizza
begun.
Hut tastes better than Domino's. Domino's just tastes rancid all the time.
I used to work for Pizza Hut, so no.
Oh no.
Okay, just because you work there doesn't mean my taste is going to change. Like, what? What the fuck are you I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying is that it's made horribly, but just because of that doesn't mean that Domino's to me tastes any better, even if it's made better.
Yeah, but it means that like Raven has inside knowledge about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got
And
something
that's
about
always
McDonald's too.
horrifying.
I still eat there though.
You're like, I know what this stuff is made out of, but I'm
I
still
mean, it's the
gonna
same
eat
thing
it
where like I
anyway.
used to work at this local pizza place as a cashier, and I saw the grill, and it was like black. Like everything was just the floors underneath the grill were black. The people wouldn't use gloves when making the pizzas and grabbing the slices and putting them in the oven. It was so fucking gross. And then I keep telling people like, don't fucking eat there. They're like, it doesn't matter to me. But it's like I've never really gotten sick from the places that people say have like shitty made things and horrible procedures.
No.
But people have constantly gotten sick from this pizza place I keep talking about.
No. So there's a site you can go on and see like the local like health inspector like results for different places.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna go to like my favorite Chinese restaurant, and
Yeah, don't do that to yourself though.
Oh god.
yeah, I
would
saw
never
that. I'm
do
like,
that to a Chinese place. Like,
no. I know I saw them on there. They'd been reported and like fined several times. Like to a point where if they're listed, it means that they've been warned like over 3 times.
there was a Chinese place. It's like the worst Chinese place here. My parents think it's delicious. It's the fucking worst. I'm convinced my parents don't have taste buds. The boneless short ribs are always dry. The rice is always bland and like over soaked. You know what I mean? Like they use too much water when boiling it. So when they fry it, it's like really mushy instead of like how fried rice should be when it has like that slight crisp to it.
Yeah.
And the sticky rice it's the same rice, so it's over boiled, so it's like disgustingly mushy instead of sticky. And like everything about it is just, they have an ice cream roll cart, which is awesome. I don't know if you've had ice cream rolls, but they're great. That's good. But the biggest thing was that a friend of mine found mouse turds on the inside of the lid of one of their combos. And they showed me a picture, and I'm like, and I keep telling my parents, I'm like, stop going there. There's another one just down the street that is amazing, and it's like the most the cleanest place you'll ever be in your life, and they have way better food. But they're like, no, this one's closer, and it tastes way better. And I'm like, it really, you know what? Fine, shovel that actual mouse shit into your mouth, but I'm gonna go down the street.
Ew. Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome.
God, this is like so many conversations, like topics in one like sitting, and this goes like it flip flops from one to the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Quite.
Yes.
Yes.
Quite.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes. Quite.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 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 I don't know that.
Your mic
Describe
kind of it doesn't pick it up well, so it sounds like really fucking low, but also kind of whiny. You're like, it sounds like a buzz sound instead of like what you're trying to make it sound like.
That is annoying. Yeah, I've got the Blue Yeti.
So have you guys, either of you, like worked at a fast food place before?
I worked at Quiznos. I worked at Pizza Hut.
Ugh.
No, I have not.
I can never convince myself to work at one of those places. I can't. Like, I worked at retail, and I personally know that it's like the worst place. Walmart was the worst place I've ever worked. And it's mostly because of the customers. Like, when I started working at the warehouse, yeah, it was the same workload, but there was no customers. So I can imagine now you have to deal with customers, and now you have to make their stuff. I got a taste of that when I was working at the bakery, having to like make cakes and take cake orders and stuff like that. So I know what that's like. So I can only imagine when it's a full-time thing. Fuck it, no, never.
Quiznos wasn't terrible. Pizza Hut sucked though.
When I think of like fast food, I mean like McDonald's, like the line cook style.
Okay, so I've
Like
never
chicken.
worked any place like
Yeah.
that.
I can only imagine. I've seen what the back room at a McDonald's looks like. It looks terrible. It looks awful. It looks like nobody knows that they work at McDonald's, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like nobody back there is aware that they're on the clock or even that they have a job at McDonald's. It's so crazy to watch.
Yeah.
And then Macca's sues the Nevermore Collective because of this conversation. Sues the TheDarkNest podcast.
It's like, dude, I'll shut up about it. Just give me free Big Macs for life. I'm cool.
It's like, we accept bribes.
I accept bribes in the form of nuggies, fries, and cheeseburgers. Thank you. How about a hamburger? No, add the cheese or we don't got a deal.
It's like, yeah, cheeseburgers. Come on, quick,
gimme.
I just cracked my ankle.
I heard that.
I was like, oh my,
that was loud.
It was very loud. I thought for a second that I made it up, but like I thought my brain made it up, but I definitely heard it crack. That was your ankle, you said?
Yep.
Are your feet like on the desk? Like, what the fuck?
No, like
she's vibing.
Like a decent.
She's upside down. she's like upside, like her back is on the bottom of the chair, and she has her head hanging off, and her she has her mic like leaned all the way down on her desk. She's fucking vibing, dude.
She's fucking.
No,
vibing.
I'm actually like really like my foot's on the floor. So, like, that's how loud the crack was, I suppose. Yeah.
Your feet are on the floor? You fucking simpleton.
It's like, what kind of a barbarian puts their feet on the floor? Ew.
But you shower with your clothes off, you whore.
It's like, you're not clothed when you shower? What the fuck?
That's indecent.
It's disgusting.
It's like, what happens if someone looks through your window?
What do you... The water is alive, you know that? And you're making it touch your naked body?
It's like...
That's indecent.
It's like...
There's bacteria in that water that's looking at you. Naked.
I apologize formally to all the bacteria in the water that I've used when I have showered. I'm sorry. I apologize deeply to the little bacteria spouses as well. I did not mean to interfere with your relations. I deeply apologize. I'm now going to record a YouTube video where I'm going to wear a hoodie and no makeup, and I'm going to like have smudged like mascara, and they'll be there like with the subject, "I'm so sorry, I messed up," and I'll be going, "Guys, I'm sorry, I showered naked, and I'm sorry. I know I'll do better in future." And I'm just gonna stop right there. This is getting weird.
You have to do the classic YouTube apology video. We're going to start with and adjust the camera.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
And also make sure that you deflect the fact that it's your fault by also apologizing, but not really apologizing.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. The bacteria were put in the water. That was the water treatment company. But I would take responsibility by wearing clothes in the shower.
Or just be
from
like
now
Mini Lad
on.
and blame it on your mental health that apparently exists.
It's like, my mental health decided that like I need to.
That's what he did for years, though. I don't know if anybody knows about this Mini Lad situation that happened a couple years ago. But for years, I'm not going to say what he did because it's really fucked up, but he did something very bad. Let's just say that. He's one of those YouTubers that took advantage. Let's just say that. And for years, anytime something came up about something, he would just be like, "I'm sorry, just like my mental health, like I just can't, like my mental health is just like I'm dealing with mental health problems." It was never like anything specific. And anytime something would come up that he did fucked up with, be like, "Guys, my mental health," like just, what the fuck are you talking about? It was the craziest thing to watch. This man spiraling, not knowing how to defend himself. It was fucked up shit.
I kind of miss. I mean, I don't miss like the things they did, but I do miss like the the days back in like 2016, 2017, where everyone had to do a YouTube apology because of what they did. Like, I don't miss what they did, but I miss whenever everyone had, big shit going on in their life where they fucked everything up. Like that.
Imagine being Shane Dawson and having to apologize for blackface 13 years after you did it. Oh my god. Taking
I didn't know about that.
accountability for what? For doing blackface. Yeah, we know.
Yep.
Like, we knew this whole time. We never said it was okay. Why did you think? Like, there's a reason those videos had way less views than all your other stuff.
Yeah, people were just like watching and went, oh, no, not watching this. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went off topic there.
So, you, Spookaria, have worked very hard to get where you are today. And I've had to push you to do more, obviously, as we all know. Yeah. I'll take the credit for your success.
You're like, yes. She had nothing before the burb arrived.
The burb
No, but to be
all,
fair,
the burb knows all.
To be fair, Raven has helped me out quite a lot with like thumbnails and just encouraging me to actually just stick to it. Try to stick to a schedule because I am a chaotic mess. Just a mess.
Well, I think, and I, as much as I hate to, and I don't mean to toot my own horn in any way, shape, or form, but I'm kind of the go-to guy for like help with. For what?
Toot.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Anyways, I'm kind of like I surprise people with my organization. Despite the fact that my entire life is just organized chaos, I actually am strangely organized and have things in line. And I'm pretty good at helping people with that. Like you've seen my Excel calendar.
Oh yeah.
My notebook with my to-do list and everything. So anyways, my point is, and I guess my question on that, what would you say to anyone listening, whoever wants to do this kind of stuff? What would you personally say has been the hardest thing to overcome?
Ooh. Okay, so I've got a couple of them, and I'm just gonna
list them all. I mean, if you have 10 things that you found to be equally difficult, please, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so the first one has been you're going to go through bad periods or periods where you can't upload. That's fine, but ultimately, you uploading is your responsibility, no one else's.
Okay, thank you.
And you need to 100% own that. So, like, your reasons may be valid. You may be sick. You may have all these other issues, but it is no one else's responsibility to help your channel. It's yours.
Yes.
And if you can't even do, if you can't listen and take constructive criticism that has been given to you, because whenever that happens, it's given out of good faith. Like, if it's constructive, obviously. If it's
you can tell when it's blatantly like someone bashing another person.
Yeah. Like,
these
listen to that.
I heard them yesterday.
Fuck you, Leslie.
Fucking Leslie.
Anyway. Anywho, how do you do?
But keep that in mind. Do not compare yourself to other people. It will. It could potentially damage the friendships you build in this community if you do that.
That is one I have to say that I've had to really push in the direction of a lot of people. That it's okay to look at the success of other people and see your success and see where you can go, but don't look at their success and then think, why am I not succeeding? Like, you should never compare yourself to somebody else.
When I was coming
you should always compare yourself to yourself. Compare today to yesterday. Compare this month to last month. See how you've grown, what you've improved, and how you can keep going. Don't sit there and think, why don't I have 100,000 subscribers? Like Swamp Dweller. It's not. Don't do that.
Don't
that
be like
will
Swamp
one
Dweller.
kill.
Let's just be honest. Not kidding.
Emulate Swamp Dweller to a T, including the Shrek memes.
If you want to succeed, don't be like Swamp Dweller.
I think it's possible. Okay. He's not even hearing you guys.
He's probably not hearing you.
But you have to also remember that these guys have taken a long time to build their channels to that point, and it's been years of consistent uploads.
Well, and they also joined at different times. Like whenever
true.
like Joel and Swamp started, the foundation was totally different. There was nobody doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why Joel has almost he's creeping up to 1 million subs because he's like the OG, right?
Yeah, for the longest time it was just creepypastas for narrating.
Right.
It was Mr. Creepypasta, Creeps McPasta, all those people, they started back in 2013. Yeah, but they were doing one type of thing. They were doing creepypastas. So you have Swamp and Let's Read who come into the fold. They do true scary stuff. Nobody's doing that. That's why.
But that's what I mean. Like the foundation was totally different. So their success is totally not the same thing as ours.
And also, sometimes you need to be careful about comparing. So when I first started, like sort of 2019, 2020, I had a lot of rapid growth, and that has slowed down now. So I think it's a bit of a trial by fire, not like literally fire, but you have to get through that to get to the next stage. Right. So essentially consistent uploads. I'm saying this to myself too, but also how you talk to yourself about your content. So my content, I write most of mine. So my and it's fictional as well. And those two type of stories typically don't do as well.
Right.
Because people just may not know you, and like when people find it, a lot of people are like, hey, this is great. I'm coming back for more. But like, Susan algorithm. But like,
You really hate Susan right today.
Oh no, you have not heard me on my live streams.
I mean, I get it. It's warranted for sure. It was just like you mentioned Susan like 3 times already. Like, we're gonna have to get them in a boxing match.
I like how you're like you're really picking on Susan, lady, and you mentioned Leslie like how many
I'm not
times
saying you're
today?
picking on her. I'm just saying you're mentioning her more than I like. I think.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna shut up. It's okay. I'm not trying to attack you or anything. I'm just saying I just noticed a pattern.
I'm just messing.
So what I was going to say to kind of go along with what you mentioned about how fiction stories don't typically do as well as true stories, I think a really good indicator and way to look at it is to compare, and I know like not comparing yourself, but comparing 2 channels, Mr. Creepypasta and Let's Read, how MCP does fiction only and Let's Read does true stories. MCP has 1.63 million subs, and his videos don't typically get more than 50K views. Whereas Let's Read has 800,000 subs, and his videos get, 100 to 200,000 views on average. So, again, the content part of that definitely makes a huge difference, right? So if you're doing those fiction stories, you kind of have more of an uphill battle, and that's something you have to consider.
It's also just something you, in a way, like consider, and honestly, you have to accept it too. Like it's just that's the way it is. Because you can't control millions of YouTube viewers. Otherwise, I'd probably do much better than what I am now. But it's like watch my videos. Yes, ladies, Spookaria, we will.
Of course.
So just in case, just make sure you watch my videos, chat. Anyway, shameless. What's another one? Time management is also a good one.
God, I'm having
you
so
are
much
going to have to
trouble with
learn
that right
to
now.
manage you are going to have to learn to manage your time. If you're very bad at it, that's something that I've had to.
I think I'll
actually when I was first started, because I had my business and everything as well, like I basically put up a video within a couple of hours. So mind you, I didn't edit my videos as well, and they were much shorter and everything, but you need to manage your time, plan out things. Schedules mean nothing if you don't actually try to stick to it. So like you could have the best schedule, but like if you, but it needs to be adaptable.
I just stay on topic real quick. I just want to ask you, did you? Because I did this. Did you just not cut out anything in the beginning?
Okay, no. So what I used to do at the start. Okay, so I really didn't know how to use Audacity. I don't think you understand how bad.
And it's so fucking easy now that we use it. It's like the most simplest shit in the world.
Yep. So what I used to do was, if I was say interrupted by anything, like, or if I messed up a sentence, I would literally start the whole thing all over again.
Oh God. I don't think I've ever done it that way.
Yep.
I would just never cut my stuff out. I would just stumble and start again and never cut it out.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was an experience. But that was the funny thing is like by the time I got to the channel, The Dark Narrator, I had been doing narrating or trying it in a multitude of channels for years. So by the time I got to The Dark Narrator, I had a knack for cutting out my mistakes and trying. Well, I think I did at the time. I look back on those old videos and I can't even fucking watch them. And it wasn't until I met Horror by Numbers where he told me about treble and bass to add like depth to your voice. Because I was doing noise reduction, but treble and bass was just not something I knew about. And like ever since I did that, especially for a male narrator, adding treble especially really helps the enunciations of things. But yeah, when I started, there was no cutting out anything. Like I didn't, the slurs. I wasn't trying to not slur my words. I still slur my speech though. Like I have to actively try. I've gotten so good at not slurring my words, but I still do it on a day-to-day basis. But when I'm narrating, I can cut it out very well. But back then, I think one comment was like, "It's great, but like you're slurring a little too much." And I immediately when he said that, like that person said that, I was like, "Okay, I just gotta actively try not to." It was the same thing where you said you were receptive. Got to be receptive. Yeah. Because everything someone said, I took into account, not with like feeling like I was attacked, but like really took it into account. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It was just
it's so good. Like I remember like some of the stuff like when I used to like when I first started, I first used my gaming headset. So obviously the mic quality isn't going to be good. And I don't know, I had over 100 subs when I was still using it. So yeah, so then that's when I got my Blue Yeti and people were like, your Yeti's going to suck. And
Yetis don't okay. I know where this is coming from. It's all the XLR people. I'm an XLR person who also uses USB, but like, there's nothing wrong with a USB mic, especially a quality one like the Yeti. The Yeti's amazing. It's made for voiceovers. It's perfect for narrating. It's literally made for that's why the diaphragm is so wide. But
like my channel started with the Yeti, and I mean I'm an XLR person now too. But if I had to go back to Yeti, I wouldn't have any trouble with it.
Because with people who swear by USBs is just when they try to get a better USB, there isn't one. It doesn't work like that. Sound cards and USBs are always the same. It's how they work. When you get a Yeti, there's really not a better USB to go by. I mean, I think maybe mine would be like a little bit higher quality if you were to get my my Samsung Q9U. It is a little bit better in quality. It has a tighter diaphragm, so it has more bass, but that would be good for male voices. But XLR, like my only gripe about people who swear by USB is because they keep trying to get better USBs. It just doesn't exist. But when I try to tell them, like, you got to go to XLR, it's like, oh, you XLR people. I'm like, no, I'm really telling you, if you want better audio, you have to go XLR. It's not that your audio sucks. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you want better audio, you have to go XLR. There's no room to grow with USB.
Right.
But Yetis are perfect for narrating. They're literally made for voiceovers. They were engineered for that. So, you know what you gotta say, lady? You gotta be like, fuck 'em. Are you still using a Yeti?
Yep.
It sounds great.
Hell yeah.
So fuck them.
But I was using, like, when I first got it, like, I was using, like, the wrong setting because there's, like, 4 settings at the back of it.
Oh.
So, like, I changed it to one, and now, like, it you know.
Were you using, like, the omnidirectional microphone versus just the the unidirectional?
I have no idea which one I was using.
I feel like that's the common thing. People don't realize that of the 4 settings, the two ones that make sense and sound decent to other people, or sound decent to like your headphones whenever you're listening, are the omnidirectional to where it's all around the mic, and the one that's just the bubble in front of it.
Yeah,
and if you use the omnidirectional, you end up with these really weird echoes and like double sounds whenever you talk sometimes.
Right, because omnidirectional is supposed to be for usually podcasting and like,
music and podcasting.
If you have like a guitar behind the mic or something, it's picking up so you can sync the audio. Then bidirectional is the same thing, but unidirectional is what you usually are supposed to use for podcasts and stuff like that. That's why most podcasts mics have, they're like cylinders, and they have like the entry point at the top, like mine. It's a unidirectional. It's supposed to only get the sound, and that's why it's so bassy when it goes in, is because it's tighter and there's no other place for the sound to come in. But that's what a Yeti does well. It has multiple settings for that. You can use it for podcasts. Some people, for some reason, I found out about this later on, is that a lot of people who use Yetis and are gamers apparently keep omnidirectional on so that people can hear them clicking on Twitch with their mechanical keyboards, so that they can know that they're playing and not cheating.
Okay, that part makes sense, but I'm like, the rest of it, that sounds weird to me.
I mean, I don't see I don't see Yeti as a podcast mic though. Maybe the Snowball or
No.
the other one.
Mm,
But like,
yeah.
I don't know, because like if you stand far away, like okay, I don't. If I was to use a podcast mic, I would think, and if you want it one for two people, because that's what omnidirectional would be for, you would set it in the middle. But if you stand away from a Yeti, it's pretty bad. Like it's like any mic. If it has like one source,
Right.
it's like it starts to sound like you're talking across the room. But maybe it's for syncing. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how this podcast stuff works. Obviously.
So I was gonna add more about like what Raven asked about, like
Go ahead.
doing. Oh yeah. So with stories, like make sure you ask and all that. But if you write your own, be prepared to like there may be big gaps in your content, and you need to accept that as well. Because like that's been part of what's been killing me lately. So I get a lot of story ideas, but I can't really finish them or turn them into full stories.
And you're like, I don't have to
also,
post today.
yeah,
And then it's like it
like,
turns into a month, into 6 months. Dude, I know. I'm the king of like procrastination. Like just fucking being like, oh, I'm so excited to put this video out. I make one video. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. I do another video, and I'm like, but like, I'm hungry. A new season of The Flash just came on Netflix.
It's
Yeah,
so
not.
so it's the difference between motivation and dedication. So your motivation will drop. It'll drop, it'll disappear, it'll go on holiday, it'll go on brunch. It will just do its own thing. But you have to be dedicated to do it. Which is a bit hypocritical from me saying this. It'll probably sound better coming from Raven.
No,
because he is dedicated.
You're absolutely correct. Look, I may be consistent on my schedule, but that's only because, like I said, I took what Swamp told me way back to heart, which it probably isn't good for my mental health, but in the end, it's what I did and it's what I'm doing. But I absolutely have had days where I cannot do the work. I just cannot do it.
Yeah, we all get days like that where you just can't get out of bed and you just stare at the fucking ceiling. You're like, I'm not doing shit.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I've, even recently, I think you would know, Spookaria, I've mentioned that in the group chats and such. Like a couple weeks ago, I had a solid 2 weeks where I was just, look, I'm going into that. My mental health was just so bad.
Yeah, but yours is real.
That's what I mean. Like I was just in such a mental low that I couldn't do the work. I struggled through it. I was literally finishing my audio 15 minutes before the video was supposed to go up. It happens.
If I can
absolutely happens.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Cut me off.
If I can give a tip to any new narrator or just any YouTuber, someone who narrating in general is a freelance opportunity for people who are trying to get into this. If you're just doing it for a hobby, if you do it consistently, you're going to get into a freelancing opportunity anyway. So this is a really good tip. Do not take more than you can handle, even if you think you can handle it. Take two steps back from what you think you can handle, because you're going to burn out. This is someone who went through burnout multiple times, took on too many projects, and burnt out very easily. Burnout doesn't feel like how you think it would feel like. It doesn't just fry you. It's not how that works. You wake up one day and you get on to do your work, and it doesn't happen. That's what burnout is.
Yep.
It's you are trying to do everything except doing that. You're making up excuses as to why doing it tomorrow would benefit you better today. That's burnout. Yep. And I've been having that for the last month. I know I took on too many projects. I took too many thumbnails, too many audiobooks, too many shows and stuff like that, too many projects in general, and I burnt out. And people were telling me, don't take on too many things. You're going to burn out. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Do not do your limits. You have a limit for sure, but never go to it. Always take 2 steps back. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to burn out.
Yeah, and you don't need to agree to every collab as well.
Yeah.
And if the person like is a good friend of yours, they will understand. They'll put your well-being first. But yeah, and if you have to pull out of a collab, make sure you tell that person as soon as you can as well. Like you have to respect their content and their time as well. You are donating your time and everything to them, but like, respect your peers as well. Also, your self-talk is very important, because I've had a lot of talks with a lot of different narrators, including myself, where it's just they're so negative about what they're doing. They are just like, I don't know if it's even worthwhile. Or they're posting it publicly on Twitter too, which it's good to get support from your friends and everyone else, but there are people who will take that and will see it as you not being serious about this, unfortunately. Yes. And when some people, when they get that little bit of blood in the water, they'll try to push it. Yeah.
This is something that I used to do, and I mean, I still kind of do it sometimes, but I know a lot of people do it too. If something is releasing, just wait for it to release. Don't talk about it. Don't say that it's coming. If you know that it might take a while, or if you might miss it, because I've had many projects where I'd be like, it's coming on this day, and then it just doesn't happen because something happened on that day. I've had multiple comments to where like, wow, this is pretty late. You probably should just stop telling people that you're going to do it and just do it. And that's the point I'm trying to make is, if you say you're going to do something yourself, just do it. Don't post it somewhere, because most of the time you're going to post it somewhere and you're going to have a following. Maybe. I don't know. If you do have a following, take that into account, that people are paying attention. And if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, as fans, people take it like you're just not reliable in their day-to-day content consumption. So they're just going to be like, oh, I'm not going to fucking look at that anymore. I'm just going to wait until it happens.
Yeah, that's very true. And also, it's bad for you as well. Like, I've noticed that, like, when I've put out teaser thumbnails, unless that video has been made, there's a chance I may actually lose interest in actually putting that video together.
Yeah.
Or like,
that's a better take on it. Don't put the thing out unless you're sure it's already basically done.
Yes.
Yeah. It's I don't know, like, I've noticed that people will talk about their plans a lot more. You need to do it. You need to like step up and do what you want to do, because I don't know, like, people just seem to just be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this amazing story. We're going to write this story. It's like, have you started? No. Well, that doesn't, it doesn't really exist then. Like, as bad as it sounds, it's literally just in your head at this point. You need to like put it to paper or write the script, actually make it happen. It's, yeah.
I want to get back into writing. I wrote one story back in October called Lights, and it was I was very happy with it. I think Raven listened to it too.
I did.
I was very proud of that story. And the reception from it, like the actual like comments of it was very, very good. And I was like, I started writing before I narrated. I was a writer, and I just stopped because narrating was, carrying that itch. But I wrote that story. It came out, and people actually really fucking liked it. And Raven, as good as a writer, as great as a writer as he is, said he really liked it. And I was like, maybe I should just try to get back into this more often, because I do love it. But when you're sitting there as a writer, you get so discouraged, because you're writing and you love it and you're passionate about it, and then that one thought comes in your head. And it's like, is anybody gonna fucking read it?
Yeah.
I listen to it if I narrate it. Like, I put all of this work, and all my brain, my entire life is in this work right now, and I don't even know if anybody's going to ever see it. Because it takes a lot for someone to sit down there and read now, especially no sleeps and creepypastas. I was talking to Raven about this off stream. Let's be honest, most people nowadays don't really sit down and read a creepypasta or read a no sleep. They wait for us to do it. It's how it works most of the time.
When it comes to me writing a story or like listening to a story, the reason why I did it is because these are the stories I wanted to listen to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wanted to read. So I'm like, I'll do it myself, damn it. So I don't know, it kind of reassures me when I'm like, and Dad's like, no one's gonna watch this video anyway. It's like, actually, no, I will. It's like, I've got one view. It's like, yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Well, I think if you're narrating it, eventually someone's going to see it. But if you're like just writing it and putting it out there, it's really scary. Because adding to the point I said before, it's not back in like 2008 to 2013. People were sitting there like me, like myself, back in like 3 a.m., like reading The Expressionless and Russian Sleep Experiment and No End House at 3 a.m, scaring the shit out of myself. That doesn't really happen anymore. People are waiting for narrators to show them a story they never heard before, because it takes effort to go into the app or on Fandom or on No Sleep or on Let's Not Meet and read something, and sifting through the garbage of this thousands of miles of garbage of just shitty stories until they find that one. Why do that when you can just wait for the narrator to find a good one?
I'm 15 years old and I was at the grocery store.
I'm a 15-year-old female.
And it's like, and he looked at me. I know he had ill intent. He didn't do anything, but I knew deep down he had bad intentions towards me.
And I got back
I went
in
to
my
the
car.
checkout, and then I had to walk home, and he went in the other direction. Let's not meet.
That's how Let's Not Meets go, and it's I started my channel on Let's Not Meets, and I had to steer so clear from that so long ago, because it's so many of them suck so bad.
Bro, like he looked at me scarily from across the Starbucks.
Like, some of them are creepy, but I guess you have to remember, like, they're not. When I started, people weren't posting Let's Not Meet because they wanted to scare someone. They just wanted to tell someone something creepy that they experienced. For them, it was probably very scary. But telling someone is going to be completely different. But now, it's just like No Sleep. People on No Sleep and Let's Not Meet and like r/creepy encounters and even Creepypasta are trying to get their stories read, so they add things that don't exist, that never happened, into those stories, making them slightly fiction, which is against guidelines. But
I read one. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm kind of just rambling here, but that's okay.
No, I have to agree with you.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going.
Okay. So I read one, and they were just like talking about like their outfit for like massive paragraphs. I'm like, this is not relevant. This is terrible. And it's like, he followed me, and he said he liked my outfit. I'm like,
what the fuck is going on in chat? I'm so sorry. It was the most rank dank fart I ever walked through, and I breathed it in at the wrong moment.
This is why we're ignoring chat.
Why? Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyways, I agree with that. I've read some really good creepy encounters and Let's Not Meet stories. Not so much Let's Not Meet, because they have a stance against narrators that's pretty. Anyway, but like creepy encounters, you know, I've read some that are really they are genuinely terrifying. But I've also read some, not the ones I've ever requested, but like you read them and you can tell that they're definitely adding garnishment to the facts of the story. It's like, that is not how it happened.
Right. You can tell it's a actual creepy story because it sells itself. The encounter itself sells itself. Adding big words doesn't help No Sleep.
Or I'm talking like on the true stories, though. And I love the ones where you read a story on creepy encounters and it kind of reads like fiction, and then you go to the person's profile and they post on No Sleep all the time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, creepy encounters can happen to people who are fiction authors, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating that.
Big words don't sell your story and make the story sound more intelligent. It's very hard to read. It makes me super disinterested in your story. It's not an SCP article. You don't have to make it sound like a document. It's fine. Just tell your story. If it's good, it'll sell itself.
True.
Like, there's always these weird ones where it's just like, yeah, this big man, you tried to tackle me, but I am like 5'1" and I'm tiny, but I tackled him to the ground and I pinned him, and wait till the cops came and they said how strong I was, and it was amazing, and everyone clapped, and everyone clapped. I mean, emphasize that for a clap. It's like, what the hell is this?
It's always about like some fucking skinny 16-year-old girl who is like has the same weight as like a pack of peanuts, and somehow she took down like this fucking 6'2" like behemoth of a man. Then I punched him in the gut and he fell to the ground screaming and crying for his mom. It's like, you're a child. What are you fucking talking about?
It's like the cop said that.
You probably shouldn't have started the story with 15 female, because now I know this is bullshit that you beat up a 6'2" fucking 30-year-old man. Like, there's no way. Body.
Agreed.
Like, they go into all this detail about explaining themselves. Like, to put it into perspective, before I start this, I'm a 15-year-old boy who occasionally doesn't go to his high school, and I'm not very well off, and I'm kind of skinny and scrawny. And then, so this guy came up to me, and then he tried to take my wallet, so I punched him straight in his mouth and knocked out all his teeth, and then I broke his spine. And you're like,
I like your dude bro voice, by the way.
Dude, bro.
I'm like a 15-year-old girl.
That's how all girls sound to me. All girls sound like a surfer dude.
Yes.
But another one is, okay, some backstory about me. So I just do this and this, and I go to this and this, and I was wearing this and 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 that, and my hair looked really nice that day. Okay, sorry, I didn't need to add that in. Hee hee. I was just like, what the hell is this?
And you get like,
why does this exist?
I hate the stories like that with all the descriptions, and they put a parentheses. Like, it fucking matters because the parentheses goes on for 3 paragraphs. Like, and I don't know when to stop narrating in that tone. It's fucking annoying.
It's like,
It's like, you're supposed to add parentheses, so I know that this is not in the context of the story, that it's just, a description of something. And you're making it 3 paragraphs long. I have to change the way I'm either reading it or narrating it. And now it's going on for an hour.
Right.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, like, this is why I write my own stories. Except the true ones, but like,
all people, write your own stories.
Fictional. Yes, it's like, write them. Everyone just write your own story.
Everyone just write your stories. You and Tales from the Forbidden Blender are the only two people I know of, like, but take that with a grain of salt, because obviously I'm not really, like, I don't pay attention too much anymore to, like, narrators in general, but as, like, my friends, as, like, people I know well, you're, like, the only 2 people I know that write your own stories for your channel. That has to add, like, an extra layer of demotivation anytime you have to make a video, because you know that your idea of your channel is self-written stuff. So when you have to make a video, you're like, fuck, but I also have to write it? Shit.
I mean,
like, it's like, you have to look at us like your job is so much easier.
Well, I mean, I do narrate other people's stories too, like, so it gives me like a little bit of a break, just a little bit. But
people are popping off.
I don't know, like, it is in some ways easier for me to narrate my own story because I know how I talk. I leave little gaps to where I sort of like need to take a breath. But in other people's stories, like particularly the longer sentences, I'm there going, and you can hear it sometimes in the audio. I have to spend time editing that out. Hello?
We're here. I don't know where he went.
I just want to let you know what it feels like.
Oh,
Fuck
wow.
you.
When I stop talking, everybody stops, like, is silent for like a good 30 seconds, and I feel like I said something wrong.
Shame. Everything you say is wrong.
It's been 2 hours. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Why do you want to leave, Raven? Why do you want to leave us? You want to stay forever?
No.
Why not?
I got work to do.
I mean, technically, so do I. I will say I might have.
So do I.
Oh, wow.
We're all so productive and shit.
No, I was just saying it has been 2 hours.
It has been 2 hours. You're right. I didn't even fucking realize that. Holy shit.
No, I literally looked over at the stream and it said started 2 hours ago. I'm like, oh, or started streaming 118 minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I didn't realize we were streaming for that long.
Raven's like, well, 2 hours, time to go.
Well, usually we're only supposed to go like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but like I think it happened last time too. We almost went 2 hours.
Look, if you ever expect an episode of our show with Spookaria on it to go for only an hour to an hour and a half, you are poorly mistaken and have not been paying attention.
No, I have not.
Look,
Have
I
you
can't
seen-
help it if I'm
Have you seen her
chatty.
live streams? Like, I get on the live stream, like, oh yeah, it'll be an hour and a half at most.
I already said
3.5 hours later, and she's all like, okay, well, I think it's good time to wrap up. And I'm like, it's been 3 hours.
Hey, look, hey, my cutoff time is 2 hours usually. Thank you,
I
Raven.
know, I'm giving you shit. I was just joking. Because if anyone should speak about long live streams, it's not me. I used to do 4-hour live streams constantly, so.
Yes, we get
Wow.
it, Derringer. Your fucking streams are like 4 hours long. Shush.
What?
He says only 2 hours.
Their Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Yeah.
Because you actually have content to watch. We're trying to make shit up right now.
Their last Yu-Gi-Oh tournament went for like
Look,
4
I could
hours,
still
dude.
talk.
It was crazy.
Look, I could still talk for a while, you know.
Right, but for you, it's like 12. It's almost 10 p.m. right now for us. Well, it is 10 p.m. for me.
Weak. It's jerky. It isn't even
just
1
because you're on
a.m.
Mars, it's fine for us, okay?
What do you mean Mars?
You're in Mars.
We're in Australia. God damn.
Might as well be fucking Mars. It's every time I hear about it, it's so like alien to me.
No, like, why do you think Australia is so...
Because the propaganda we've been fed is that Australia is a death hole.
No,
It's not
Yes,
that
because we
bad.
got better McDonald's.
No, you know I'm right, though.
No, we have been fed shitty propaganda. Whether or not I believe any of the shit they say, it's yeah. That's
Just
how,
that
that's how the
everything
entirety
in
of the US
Australia
works.
will kill you.
Everything outside of the U.S. is shit, and the U.S. is the best. That's how the U.S. Brands itself to its people.
Well, I was just saying, like, all of the media we're fed about Australia is that everything there wants to kill you.
Yeah, you step off the plane and you're getting kicked in the chest by a kangaroo.
In some ways that's exaggerated, in some ways that's not. So kangaroos have been known to like beat people up sometimes, like they'll actually like follow people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get you, they'll try to like kick you to like pull your intestines out with their feet.
There's I don't know if it's like I don't know if there's different types of kangaroos or it's just like certain ones in certain areas. There's ones that will, or just one specifically. There's one that'll stand in the center of a lake.
Yeah.
And try to act like it needs help, and then when you get out to it, it'll try to fucking drown you.
Yeah, that usually happens like with dogs and stuff. Like they'll try to like lead your dog to the water so it can drown it.
Like is that just kangaroos in general?
I don't know.
Or is that like is there like different types of kangaroos, or is it just kangaroos?
Yeah, there's kangaroos and then there's like wallabies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which are just tiny kangaroos.
I
You
have
can eat
actually heard
kangaroo
of
meat.
that.
They're quite tasty.
I have heard of that's actually terrifying, but I have heard of that. Yeah, where they will like they'll try to quickly befriend a dog and then lead it somewhere, and then they'll just fucking strangle it and kill it.
That's terrifying.
Well, like dogs are predators to it though. So when you think about it like that, like
Yeah, but
it's morbid though.
domesticated dogs are also like predispositioned to trust things quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
We've kind of
That's
fucked
true.
that up.
Yeah. But yeah, you can eat them. So like I'm not scared of anything I can eat. So
Fair point.
yeah.
I mean, I could totally put a spider in my mouth, but I hate them anyway.
Well, I mean, you
Why
can
is
eat
there?
them. So
Yeah, but
I
it's
like
also a
spiders.
spider.
Spiders.
Yeah,
are
but
cool, bro.
like
Demons.
protein.
Tiny
Protein.
demons.
Protein.
They're pieces of demons that haven't come fully formed yet.
Protein.
That's false.
Demons.
Protein.
Demons.
Demonic protein. What?
I don't know. Anyways, guys, we're gonna cut it here. Thank you for being here, lady.
My
thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure, as always.
Thank you
I
so
didn't
very
even
much.
have to. Sorry, I didn't even have to kick the door in this time. It's fantastic.
Well, we hope you
Yeah,
come back
well-
on again. We'd love to have you on.
Oh,
As always. You're always
I
welcome.
will. Oh, always welcome.
You are.
Excellent. All
Within
right.
reason.
Within reason. You can't add stipulations at the end. You
I
guys
can do what I
invited
want.
me.
It's my show. Damn it.
It's my show.
So if you have anything you're about that's coming out soon, or that you wanna
yes,
plug,
so-
you can do that right now.
Please check out my channel. You can search for Lady Spookaria on YouTube. I have
Link in the
Videos
description to
hopefully
her
coming out
Twitter, and if
tomorrow.
you click on her name on the title, you'll get to her.
Hell yeah. I also have my ASMR channel, Lady Aria ASMR. I've got one video on there with more on the way. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers on there too, so that's really exciting. That's about it, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you
Yes.
again for stopping by. Again, we would love to have you on. You're always welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the TheDarkNest podcast. Next week, hopefully, because he's like a little bit off and on about the whole time constraint thing, because he does do work. But we're supposed to be having on Boris Bakic, some guy a guy I do a lot of stuff, audiobooks with, and you've seen a bunch of his stuff on my channel in the past. We've had him on in the past, but he's had a lot of projects come out since then, and especially with me. So we're going to try to have him on. I think we're good, so stay tuned for that, but we're planning on having him on. So next week, hopefully at 5 p.m. EST, we will have Boris Bakic on. I want to get more authors on specifically, but that's all we have for now for authors. But next week, 5 p.m. EST.
What's...
What?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm an author technically too. Oh, you're meant to be publishing my book this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Stay tuned for that. Check her out on Twitter and make sure you got updates for that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the TheDarkNest Podcast. I'm TDN. That is As the Raven Dreams. This is the TheDarkNest Podcast, and we will see you next week for another episode of the TheDarkNest Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.